Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do a little pre-video explanation for you guys. So, the video you are about to watch was one of the very first videos that I ever recorded for YouTube. I know I explained in the last video that a lot of the videos that are gonna start being posted were pre-filmed, you know, a few months ago, and we just needed time to catch up. So this is kind of our catch-up point, but as I'm going back and starting to edit the videos to post to YouTube, that's kind of what happened. I didn't realize it at the time. I had just gotten a external microphone for my camera, and I just plain and simple forgot to turn the mic on. So what I'm about to do is I'm basically gonna watch through the video and I'm gonna attempt to do voiceover as much as I can for the first video. I went through the rest of the videos, should be good. I think I was pretty good about turning the microphone on and making sure those were there, but that's the plan. Again, I apologize, this should be the only video that is like this, but I'll do my very best to explain what's happening, and feel free to post comments. I'm always happy. I love talking about the build, so any questions you guys have specific wise to what we did or anything that you guys are going to see, or if I'm not explaining it well, please feel free to ask, get at me, hit me up on Instagram, leave a comment below, whatever you need. So thanks again for watching, and here we go. Alright guys, so here's me explaining basically what we're doing. We're taking all the factory mounting points, bumper supports off, parking sensors, stuff like that off my 2014 OEM Ford Flex bumper. We're basically just prepping it. As you can see, the Mustang bumper is all ready to go. It's a 2015 Mustang GT rear bumper. So basically we're plotting out a rough cut. So we knew we had to use the bumper mounting points from the flex bumper just to make sure fitment was going to end up being okay. As far as putting it back on the car, we didn't want to have any kind of issues. So as you can see, we're using a real fine line painter's tape to kind of mark off where our pre-cuts are going to be. So we wanted to take very minimal. So our first cut line here, we wanted to take off as little as possible just so we could make sure that we were going to end up maintaining those points that we needed to off the flex bumper. So this is basically just a rough cut. We knew we weren't going to need the very top portion, so that's where we started. Because obviously the mount points on a Mustang bumper are a lot different than a Ford Flex bumper. So basically run it right along the top body line that runs through the bumper there, just so we can, like I said, get it laid on top of the flex bumper and make sure that everything's going to be good. We just used a regular all-purpose grinder wheel, cutting wheel from Harbor Freight on there. So there we go, got that top section off. Sorry guys, this is all time-lapse like crazy, so we can get into the juicy stuff, and I didn't want to make this video, you know, 30 minutes because I didn't want you guys to lose interest in what we were doing. So again, my bad for not getting the audio. So now here we're just cleaning up that edge that we cut, just a standard file, metal file, just scraping it across, getting all the little plastic burrs out of there, making sure that we didn't have anything impeding where we were gonna lay. So there we go. We liked how that's looking. So bringing so our first test fit up basically right here. So we liked it. I mean, we knew we wanted to use 100%. We wanted to use the plate mount on the Mustang bumper instead of the flex, because as you can see from the previous video that I showed you, the kind of up close picture of the rear of the Mustang, how it's just so boxy and just a big gaping hole there. It's just super unattractive. So here's me basically explaining. That's our very first test fit. So looks really good. Like, we were super happy with it. I think we got like a handful of zip ties just right across the top. We just wanted to make sure everything was where it was at. The exhaust cutouts even lined up, like out of the box. So here's me trying to show you guys what's going on with the side. Basically just where the body lines were gonna hit. So we cut a little chunk off of that side just to see if we, you know, where we were gonna ride the body line, because there's some distinct body lines on the side for the fender flare area of the flex bumper. So we needed to keep those on the flex bumper. So I'm basically just explaining that. I know it's crazy fast. Now we're into the bumper support, which we obviously wanted to get rid of the tow hitch. I had absolutely no intention of ever towing anything with this car. So we thought initially it was going to be a use the cutting wheel, cut those grinds, and it was going to fall off. After grinding, we soon found out that there's no stinking way that was gonna happen. So that's me kind of looking around and making sure what we could do and what we can't do. I didn't realize it. So yeah, we had to pull the whole thing off. So there were mounts underneath the exhaust. We had to pull the exhaust hangers off the rear section. And as you can see here, there's a lot of welding. So if you have a Ford Flex, you have the tow package. It is way better than an aftermarket, the option that you can get aftermarket wise. So we got it out on the bumper rack, the body stand, and I'm grinding away. Zach's kind of figuring out where we're gonna make more cuts on the bumper. You can see he's taping it out back in the background. But these are some crazy welds. So I actually, before we did this, I tried to find somebody in Washington State here with a Ford Flex that wanted a tow package that didn't have one, and I was just gonna swap them for free. And nobody came forward. It's really heavy. I definitely didn't want to ship it and have to worry about getting a new one shipped and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're just gonna go ahead and grind it. So yeah, that's me and Zach trying to find out all the welds, because at that point I thought I had grinded through all the welds and cut through them, and I didn't. So we were just like trying to double team it. Two heads are better than one. Figuring out where all the welds are, and there were some underneath that I didn't see, and so this is just basically us trying to get that thing out of there. And just the tow hitch, the part that we're trying to get off of there, gosh, was like 10 or 15 pounds. It was freaking crazy, and it's super thick metal. So yeah, this was kind of what we were dealing with. Gosh, it was crazy. We thought it was going to be a simple grind it off and keep moving forward. We weren't thinking we were gonna have to pull it off the car at all. So there it is. There's me explaining how crazy the situation was, because it really was. It was so much more than we thought. That's why we're laughing about it. We're like, dang, look at that thing. But yep, so there it is. We got it all cleaned up. I still haven't done that now, but I'll probably have to like wire brush and paint the bottom side of that just so that rust doesn't keep spreading. But gosh, it's super thick and heavy as far, yeah. So me talking about how crazy getting that stinking thing off of there, Zach laughing at me, and he's like, all right, man, let's get back to this bumper. So there we were. So Zach ended up cutting down farther. We knew we wanted to keep those spat sides. Sorry this is sped up so fast. I put everything at 600. Like I said, I didn't want to make the video super crazy. So those were the new marks that he made. So he did one side. This is us doing the other side. And those were the contact points that we knew we wanted to keep. So we really were just trying to slim it down as much as possible. So at this point, we're kind of figuring out that spat side, the lower part of the diffuser that goes around the bottom, was really long. We were trying to figure out where we were gonna end up, and now this is Zack cutting down the flex bumper where we knew we were gonna have to come back and fit it up. That's me basically just giving the rundown again. Gosh, I can't apologize enough, you guys, for not having the audio on. And the end of the video, I actually do realize that I didn't do that. It's just been so long. So there's what I was just talking about. So that spat section came down way farther, so we ended up cutting it, as you can see, right kind of in the middle top area of the exhaust cutout, and it ended up turning out really well for us. So that was kind of the spot that where it matched up the most. If we were gonna cut it, it was the most minimal amount of body work we were gonna have to figure out later. So that's where we decided to make up that area. So that's what we did. So that's where we cut it up there. Just so we made sure we were gonna have that sitting in the right place. So this is Zack basically taking the grinder and grinding the back side of the Mustang bumper piece into a point, so that when we laid it over the top of the flex bumper, that it would have like a nice smooth clean finish. So yeah, that's kind of the process we were working on. We ended up trying to do that to the Mustang bumper as well, just so they would sandwich up and there would not be, we're trying to just help from there being a visible seam. So we thought if we feathered out each side and kind of grinded both to a point, it would kind of fit together and end up being the same thickness as one of the single bumpers, just not together. So yeah, it definitely took a little finessing. We'll get a little, see what I'm talking about here. So yeah, the autofocus wasn't working great, but you can see how it's grounded to more of a point. But that's kind of what our plan was for the whole thing. Just making sure it got ground to a nice point. Not so much that it was like flimsy, but as thin as we could kind of get it out to where it was still going to have structural integrity, because we knew we were going to have to drill holes and zip tie the rest. That's kind of what we were working with. There's really no great place to clamp it because the bumper is so stinking big, and just the points that we were trying to connect. So, but yeah. So this is just us filing. Us laughing about how much work this is. Zach is awesome to work with, by the way, you guys. He's become a really, really good friend of mine. We kind of met through this build, and yeah, just he's a great guy. It was a lot of fun to do this. As much work and as much craziness it was. So I skipped the rest of the grinding. We got it all fitted up. We got it zip tied together, and this was our second initial test fit, being like where it was actually gonna sit. Now there's obviously no body work or anything like that, but this was just us actually like shoving it back into the factory mount spot clips on the car, and us, stepping back, looking at it, seeing where the exhaust lined up. But this is me going in, and low light was really terrible. That's why we flashed a light in there. But everything really lined up really, really, really well. That's gonna just throw a little piece of tape on there so we could see. I'm talking about where the exhaust lines up, but yeah, that's me closing the rear. All right, guys, so just realized that I totally didn't turn the microphone on at all for any of this. So basically, let me fill you in. We grinded on the Mustang bumper for quite a while. Grinded out the edges, tried to file them, and we're going to do that a little more, honestly. Focus, maybe. But just trying to get that to a finer edge is kind of the plan. So then it fits a lot more flush on the flex bumper. So we honestly got it where we're pretty freaking happy with it. Thus far, 2 days in, it's good. We gotta move it like 1/8 of an inch to the left,
to the driver's side.
But other than that, man, it really, like, the fitment looks really freaking good, man, for just coming up with this out of nowhere. So now we're gonna kind of body work. No, we're not gonna body work it. We're gonna
Not yet.
We're gonna smooth it out a lot more. We're gonna feather out the edge a little more, just to kind of get that fitment on point before we use the body fuser to kind of link these two together, and then we'll start doing fiberglass from the backside, just strengthen it up and beef it up, and then yeah. So we probably won't get that far tonight, but I'm guessing we're gonna try to feather this out and kind of get fitment kind of 90% where we're wanting it.
We want it right on as close as we can get it. That's the closer we get it, the less work we got to do. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna try to dial that in. We got about an hour of work time left, so we're gonna try to crank it out here, man, and keep it pushing.
Oh yeah.
So watch as we do. Bang bang.
Fitment number 3.
Number 3, but I think we pretty much got it where we're wanting it at. Got it zip tied in place. Basically, got the edges feathered out pretty well. But yeah, man, we got our center line because it moved on us. Other than that, though, man, it's really that's a Ford Flex RS bumper right there. That's how we do it, man. So. Yeah, man. So what's next?
I'd say it's a success for the night.
Yeah,
The next portion of the project is
would
going to
too.
be playing with our flexor and seeing what we can get to actually get these two to stick together. And then once we get it to stick together, we'll flip it over and start laying glass from the backside and make it nice and stiff. That way you ain't got to worry about breaking nothing. It'll be a nice one-piece bumper.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want to break this. We got too much time into it already. We're not trying to break it, but yeah, man. So that's probably where we're gonna end the video today. That's it. Tune in next time. We'll get to the fusor. We'll start fusing the bumpers together and kind of going from there. Like, we got spots that Zach will end up having to get creative with, like as far as the transitions here. I know you can't really see it, but there you go. See, there's kind of a gap. But we're pretty happy though. I think these are minimal body working things, right? Compared to where we started, and completely having two bumpers apart from each other. I mean, really, man, even the fitment in general, like the exhaust lines up perfect.
Yeah, that was
super gangster. So yeah, man. So I'm basically gonna hop online. I gotta source a couple lights for our license plate, these reflector lights, and then I'm not sure what we're gonna do here yet. Might keep that a surprise. I'm gonna look at what options we have. I know we can either do like a brake light or a reverse light or like a combo light, which I think the combo light would be the coolest.
I like
probably.
the combo light, definitely.
Just get it nice and bright when we're on reverse and stuff like that. But man, really, that's it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. As usual, smash the subscribe button, hit a like, share with everybody, man. We got to grow. But stop hating. Stop hating on other people's car builds, man. Grow love. We need more humble people in the car community. So remember that. Factory Fiction. We are Modified Culture. Y'all have a great night.